So I had hoped to spend today summarizing a recent study that was released in last month's American Academy of Pediatrics journal about a system that was actually shown to decrease gun violence and suicide in school districts much like ours. It seemed like a pretty important and relevant study to discuss. And yet when I asked for 3 extra minutes to actually present on this topic, I was denied. So now I will be, once again, spending my precious 5 minutes talking about how some of the egos present on this board have just gone too far. Because many of you on the board seem to forget that while I do participate in advocacy, I am also a doctor. I am a well-respected medical expert in childhood development and pediatric mental health disorders. I speak on these topics regularly throughout the state. I am an expert witness for the district attorney. I am the advisor for most of the local community support groups for pediatrics, and I have advised state politicians on pediatric healthcare policy. I am much more than a concerned citizen. I'm educated, I'm connected, and even though this board regularly invites other speakers with far less education and experience than me to come present, when I offer my expertise on a study showing how we can actually make our schools safer, on how we can improve student mental health, decrease the suicide rate, you apparently have no interest in hearing about that? I've been trying to get you to adopt this system for months. And now I have actual proof. Unlike some of the things you've talked about with school shootings tonight, this is proven to have prevented 6 school shootings, and you can't be bothered to listen for more than 3 minutes. I want to be very transparent in case Mr. Breaker tries to twist my words, so this is exactly what my email said. Hello all, I would like to request an additional 3 minutes for a total of 8 minutes for my public speaking time at Tuesday's meeting. I'll be discussing a recent study that came out in the AAP journal discussing the effects an anonymous reporting system had on bullying, weapons-based violence, and suicidality in the school systems, as well as discussing the science surrounding the medical effects of toxic stress on the developing pediatric brain. I hope you will find this information useful, and I thank you ahead of time for allowing me this time. Now, there is nothing political in that email. There's nothing even controversial there. It's a request by a medical expert to provide valuable information that you're not going to have access to because it's behind a paywall. And as a reminder, it's in your bylaws that I can request that extra time. This was the reply of Mr. Baker on all of your behalfs. Thank you for your request. We are not willing to make exceptions to our public comment time limit at this time. It would set a precedence that would essentially extend the time limit for anyone who asked. That said, we'd be interested in looking at the information. Obviously, you're welcome to split your presentation over 2 meetings or provide the information in written or video form. But here's the thing, Mr. Breaker, I already did that 4 months ago. I emailed all of you about this program 4 months ago, and I asked you to meet with me. I asked you to figure out how we could implement this program, and not a single one of you replied to me. So you can try to use that as a cop-out and keep acting like emailing is a feasible alternative here, but the truth is you just don't care to be educated by me for some reason, even if it means helping the children in our district. And that level of hubris is dangerous. I should not have to be begging you to let me help make this district better. And I'm not going to let this community forget that this is where your priorities were this time. I will remind them every step of next year's campaign that this board has completely refused to participate in any community engagement, even if it means helping the children of our district. That the people the public elected want nothing to do with the public. You need to take a step back and take a long look in the mirror on how we got here, because I am not the one refusing to listen or have a respectful discussion, it is you. I have asked to meet and talk out of these meetings multiple times, but you are the ones preventing that progress to help these students. Now, I'm sincerely hoping that that's a minority opinion on the board, and perhaps there's members of this board who are just too intimidated to actually vocalize their disagreement. And if that is the case, I strongly advise you to remember why you're here in the first place. Because I'm pretty sure you didn't get on the board so that you could help Tim Breaker silence members of this community. I'm pretty sure you're here because you want to help the children. So please remember, the next time a board member asks you to toe the line, do what is right, not what is easy. In closing, I know there's some girls at home watching this right now. Some of you may even have daughters or granddaughters watching it, and seeing just how dismissively you continue to treat me. It's important for me that they see that a strong, educated woman does not have to be cowed by a man like you, Mr. Breaker, who is so threatened by a woman who is intelligent and assertive that you would rather spend your time trying to silence me than learn from me. I am valuable. I am an asset to this community, and I can be an asset to this board. And your inability to recognize that and take advantage of that says much more about you than it does about me.